Welcome everyone. This is the second class of our Clipchamp course, where we're diving into the heart of Clipchamp. Get ready for a crash course in basic video editing. We're talking importing media, mastering cuts, playing with transitions, experimenting with layers, adjusting volume, and finally, exporting your masterpiece. Buckle up and let's jump into the creative world of Clipchamp. To start off, let's simply open up our Clipchamp application. In the last video, we showed you how you can install it and set up an account, so this shouldn't be a problem. Simply navigate over to your Windows tile and search for Clipchamp in the search bar. Once you do so, open up the application. Once the application is done loading up, you can start up a new project. You can do that by either navigating down and clicking on this button or clicking this one. Once you do so, it will open up your video editor. Here we can start importing our media. To do so, you have two options. Either you can drag and drop your media into this little tab right here, or you can press the import media button up top. I'll show you how you can drag and drop it. Open up your file explorer and then set it into windowed mode. Once you do so, you can decrease the size if it's a little bit too big. Once you do that, you want to navigate over to wherever you have your footage stored. In my case, it's in my download folder. I have two video clips, one of landscape and one of grass, both in 4K. I'm simply going to hold on to it and then drag it into the sidebar. I'm going to do the same for the other one. Once I do so, it will copy it over, and once it's done processing, I'll have it available for editing. I can then go ahead and close this application. Now, even if I click on both of these, I can't really edit them. For that, I need to drag and drop them into my timeline. We'll start with the 4K landscape one. The most essential part of any video editor is cutting and trimming media. To do so, you simply want to select your media inside the timeline and then navigate over to this little option right here which says split. This is a scissor icon and it indicates that it will split your video. So whenever you want to split, simply drag this bar over to. So for example, if I want to split in the first 3 seconds, I can navigate over to it and then click this icon. You can also press S. If I do so, you can see that it will split the video into 2 segments. If I want to split it again at the 12-second mark, I can press S again and it will split it again. Now I have free access to move them around wherever I want. So I can rearrange it like this or like this. And if I'm not a fan of this arrangement, I can always go back. I can do this by either holding down Control and then pressing Z or simply doing this. If you press on these arrows, it will reverse your action or redo it if you press this one. Say you have many clips inside the timeline and you can't be bothered dragging them all together. Something you can do is right-click on the timeline and then press delete all visual gaps. This will make all of the video clips come together in one fluid piece of content. Now let's import the other media in here as well. First, I'm going to group up all of these different video clips so that they're one solid video clip. For this, I can hold down left-click and drag it across all of it. Then I can press right-click and then press group. This will make all of them into a single compound clip. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to grab this video clip and import it into my timeline. Now that we have 2 video clips in here, we can start editing them together. If you look at the transition between the two, you can see that it's very rough. It simply cuts away and you can't see any transitions happening. So how do you add transitions? It's very simple. First, I'm going to zoom in by pressing this little magnification icon right here. And after I do so, it'll make it easier for me to see. Now, all I'm going to need to do is go into the little space in between them and see this little plus icon. As you can see, it says add transition. Once you press that, you will have many different options to your right. Simply press this little arrow which will open up the tab. There are tons of different options for you to choose from here. Since this is a very calming and simple video, I'm going to go with a cross blur. Once I select it, I can decide how long I want it to last. So in my case, I want it to be very smooth, so I'm going to turn it up to around 1.8 seconds. You can see the size of the transition changing in the timeline as you increase or decrease the duration. Once I'm done doing that, if I play it again, you'll be able to see the transition in action. As you just saw, that was very fluid and required almost no effort. All I did was drag and drop. There's 2 types of layers you can have in any sort of media, either audio or video. Since we already have 2 videos in our timeline, it's going to be very easy for me to demonstrate how you can layer videos. I can simply grab this and then drag it on top of the other. Once I do so, you can see that it's on top of it in the timeline. But when I play it, you can only see one. This is because the size of this and this is the exact same. Both are in a 16:9 aspect ratio. So if I select this one, and then go over to the corner right here, I can make it smaller, and as you can see, both videos will be playing at the same time. So if I play it again, you can see that it pops up and it's not a single screenshot that's paused. It's actually playing. You can experiment with this whatever way you like. So for example, if you want to make it smaller or bigger and have it be the main focus of your media, you can do that and have the other clip as background. You might have noticed that our video is missing something very important, and that is audio. For now, I'm going to grab this and then put it in front of the other video as I don't want to layer it like that. Instead, I'm going to import some new media into here. What that is going to be is our audio. I'm going to use some calming piano background music to give this video some soul. Since I've already shown you the drag and drop method, now I'm going to show you how you can import media through this button right here. Simply click it and it will open up a little file explorer tab. In here, you can navigate over to wherever you have your content installed. For me, it's in my hard drive in content creation. Once I'm here, I can select any one of these, but I'm going to use this one. After I do that, it will start importing my audio into the mix. Once it's done importing, I can drag it into the timeline as well. As simple as that, we now have audio. But as you can see, it's very loud. So to turn it down, I'm going to select it and then go over to the audio tab. And in here, I'm going to drop the volume down. Something you might have noticed is that my video clip is now 4 minutes and 9 seconds long, even though the clip itself is only around 33 seconds. So how would you fix that? It's very simple. All you need to do is grab your bar and then navigate it on top of where the video clip ends. And then you can press S. What this will do is split the video and the audio into two. I can then select this part and hit delete. Now my audio and my video will end at the same time and I won't have a black screen with just audio. And with that, I'm done with my masterpiece. We learned how you can import some media, how you can cut and trim your content, how you can add transitions, how you can add layering, and finally how you can adjust the volume of your video clips and your audio. Now to export. Before we export though, however, you want to navigate over to the top left and make sure that you title it something so that you can always be organized. In my case, I'm going to title it something simple. After I'm done with that, I can export my project. All you need to do is navigate over to the top right and press the export button. Once you do that, you can select any one of these qualities. Even though my video clips are in 4K, I can't select 4K here because I don't have the premium subscription. But 1080p is just fine. Once you do that, it will bring you to this interface. Here you can download the video locally into your computer. So if you press save your computer and navigate over to wherever you want it, you can simply navigate and then press save. As we wrap up this session, you've conquered the fundamentals of video editing on Clipchamp. But hold on, there's a whole universe waiting for you in the upcoming classes. Subscribe, hit that bell, and join me in the next tutorials, where we'll unravel even more editing magic. From adding video effects to editing viral videos, we've got it all covered. Until then, keep creating and we'll catch you in the next one.